But no, it was a few years ago. I would be about 32, so it was a lot of years ago. And funny how you remember how old you were when you hurt yourself. I went to a party and I drank too much. I drank brandy, stupid thing, leaves your brain till last. Because if you drink a lot of brandy, you can carry on a perfectly normal conversation, you just can't control your arms, legs or body. Lying on the floor saying, I'll drive home. And you carpeted the walls. But I got so hammered, I somehow managed to get into a taxi. I fell out of the taxi outside the house. I got back to my door, and I was that pissed. I couldn't, Americans, drunk, not angry, drunk. I was so drunk, I couldn't get the key in the door. You know what I mean? At the time, like, oh, I can do this. I can't do this. It must have been 15 minutes before I realised I didn't have the key. I was just thinking, well, you know, I've lived here for 8 years, the door should know what I fucking want by now. This means I want to come in. Have you learned nothing? I tried to get through the letterbox. I got as far as my nose, I had to pull myself back. I shouldn't have gone feet first. I'm outside the house looking at the bedroom window, which is slightly ajar, and I'm thinking, pissed as I am, I'm not going to attempt to climb the drain pipe. So I was halfway up the drain pipe. I swear this is true, I'm halfway up the drain pipe. And it's my weight and the combination of the obviously wobbly wound, I'm about 15 feet off the floor. And then the fixings of the drain pipe just came away. And I started to go backwards. And I was that drunk, I swear, for a moment I thought, fuck, the house is falling down. And it wasn't until I landed flat on my back in the flower bed I realised what had happened. And so I'm lying there, I'm covered in crap on the back of me, I'm still drunk, I'm thinking, right, I can get in. And we have a back gate, which is like a little snicket alleyway with a wooden gate, with a barbed wire dressing over the top of it for some reason to stop anybody who climbed that getting in. So I've attempted to climb that. And my first attempt was I put my hand on the top of well, actually what I did first, I thought I'd put my foot on the windowsill and then push myself up and grab I should have really gone the other way around because I ended up falling flat in the flower bed again. But I got my hand at the top, my foot on the windowsill, and in one solid movement just went whoop, straight up, and I'm on the top of this gate. About 8 foot off the floor, thinking, well, that's not bad. That's not bad. And I'm keeping my balance. This is marvellous. So I sort of shuffle myself around, and I'm sort of perched like a mad ski jumper. and I let go. I sort of lowered myself down, then I let go and jumped backwards. And then I looked back to see what I was going to land on. Now, you see the mistake I made? I let go and jumped backwards, and then I looked round to see what I was going to land on. And there was an iron fence post bit down. And I think Australians call them star pickets. It's an iron bent over, wrought iron, spiky fence post. And I landed like that. And the fence post missed my testicles by about that much. Because it went up my arse. It went straight up, not actually up the arse itself, between the anus and the spine. It forged a whole new 6.5-inch hole. It didn't perforate my bowel. The doctor said I was very lucky. I question his understanding of women. I was lucky to land flat on my feet and not fall down, because it would have just gone straight through the top of my head. And I landed on it like this, just went bang! And as it went up there, I remember I said something which was quite witty. I said, and then I added, my arse. And I was stuck. I was stuck with this thing up my arse. And there like that, with a stick between my legs. I felt like a toffee apple. But it was 3:30 in the morning. There was no possible way I could have got one at that time. I mean, someone walking by selling them. That would have been luck. But as it was, I'm stuck there like this, and I'm thinking, well, should I get off now? But oh, I don't know what, oh God. And then the back gate just opened. And there, silhouetted in the doorway, was my beautiful wife, who saw my predicament and said to me, oh my God, do you want me to pull you off? And I said, well, now? All the times I've begged you. And you want to do it now? Yeah, okay. Because the opportunity doesn't come up every day. Oh dear, I tell you, very, very, very ill. Very ill. I was in hospital for 4 days. I went to hospital. I knew how ill I was because I went into accident emergency at 5 o'clock in the morning. I still have it. We had another brandy before we went. And I got into the hospital and I walked in accident emergency in England. There's a fantastic place. You meet some wonderful people there. Most of them severely injured. But I swear, there was people in there. There was a guy, as I walked in, there was like a lot of people waiting. There was a guy there, the compound, his bone was sticking out of his leg. And he's sitting there, and he'd been there for hours. And there was an elderly woman, and I swear to you, her eyeball, she was holding it in her hand. She was sitting there with her eyeball coming out of her eye, and she's holding it in her hand, like that. And as I walked in, she went... And I walked past these two severely injured people who'd been there for hours. And I went up to the desk and I said to the nurse, I said, I've hurt my bottom. And I showed, and she looked, and she pressed a button, and doctors and nurses came from, this is how I knew I was ill. They just put me on a trolley straight away and wheeled me right into surgery, past the bloke with a broken leg and the old woman who went... And they gave me an exploratory operation. I was a bit worried about that. I was going around the anaesthetic saying to the anaesthetist, count your rings, count your rings. But that is pretty much the end of the story, apart from the fact a friend of mine, the doctor said to me before I went out, he said, we're going to give you an operation. He said, if you wake up without a colostomy bag, you're the luckiest man I've ever met in my life. Which, you know, my wife was privy to that conversation, and she went later on to tell a friend of mine who lived down the road, Martin, a very good friend of mine, and he, with this information, came in at 9 o'clock in the morning, blagged his way into post-op, where I was sleeping like a baby, not needing a colostomy bag. I didn't realise yet, because I was still asleep. And he sellotaped a bag of Vesta boil in the bag curry to my stomach. So when I woke up, I thought, oh God, no. What did I eat? That's what friends are for.